12th day of Christmas. Apparently it's over. Hi guys, I'm Shelley, welcome back to my channel and the 12 days of Christmas. I'm going all out, it's the 12th day. I should have more energy than this, but I'm very tired by now. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary, and for those of you who have yet to decide, may I present to you Russell T. Davies. I may get emotional in this one. This guy means a lot to me. Russell is a Welsh screenwriter and TV producer known for creating Queer as Folk and the regeneration of Doctor Who. Born in Swansea in April 1963, his parents were both teachers. He grew up in a household that never switched the TV off. It was always running in the background until closed down. Yes, closed down actually existed. There was a time when the TV stopped transmitting. And he grew up watching I, Claudius and Doctor Who. In fact, one of his first memories, he says, is watching Doctor Who. At age 14, he auditioned and joined the newly formed West Glamorgan Youth Theatre Company. Working within this group allowed him to grow and define his sexual identity and come out as gay. And in 1981, he was accepted by Worcester College, Oxford, to study English literature. While he studied at Oxford, he continued to write scripts and be connected with the West Glamorgan Youth Theatre. And in 1984, he made his last performance and then signed up to Cardiff University for theatre studies. In 1985, Russell started his professional TV career after a friend suggested him as a graphic artist for the children's TV show Why Don't You? Does anybody remember that? I think I used to watch it. He worked his way up the ladder on the show and ended up becoming the producer. In 1993, he wrote a script for the TV show Children's Ward that featured a teenage boy who had been infected with HIV through a blood transfusion. And that challenged the assumption at the time that only gay men contracted the disease. While working on various TV shows, Russell had a crisis after almost dying from an accidental overdose. The experience persuaded him to detoxify and make a name for himself as a producer of his own series that would celebrate homosexuality. Can you guess where I'm going with this? Queer as Folk was born, which is a series about a group of friends in the Manchester gay scene. The series deals with realistic discussions about sex and relationship and queer bashing. Russell's characters had sex. They were funny. They had relationships. They were real. They had a party scene on Canal Street that had never been shown before. A little bit of trivia that kind of just made me go, really? Is that Russell wanted Chris Eccleston to play Stuart. Chris Eccleston then going on to work with Russell on other things, including Doctor Who. Can you imagine Chris Eccleston as Stuart? It would have been interesting, but he turned it down. The series transmitted in early 1999 when Parliament was discussing LGBT equality. And the series aired, its first episode aired, the day the House of Lords was discussing the Sexual Offence Bill, which eventually reduced the age of consent for homosexual sex to 16. There were 136 complaints to Ofcom, which is the UK TV regulators, about sexual content in the first episode of Queer as Folk, and the rest of it, to be honest. And as it goes, some advertisers pulled out. Moving on, the next TV series that Russell did was Bob and Rose on ITV, based on a gay friend of his who had then fallen in love and married a woman and had a child. Russell's work focuses on love in every form. It breaks down barriers. And like Queer as Folk before it, Bob and Rose contributed to the wider discussion of gay rights. A subplot of the series included demonstrations and protests about Section 28, which was going on at the time. Section 28 that prohibited promotion of homosexuality in any way. And I'm not talking, I'm gay, you should be too. I'm saying, like, you couldn't have a gay teacher, you couldn't have a gay councilman, because apparently that was promoting homosexuality. I could carry on pretty much forever on this video about the stories that Russell T. Davies has told. From The Second Coming to Mine or Mine to Casanova, and then of course the reboot of Doctor Who and Captain Jack Harkness alone, all adding up to how Russell tells a wonderfully inclusive story that brought LGBTQIA+ rights into people's homes at the same time that it was happening in Parliament, in their newspapers, at their schools. He was showing LGBTQIA+ stories with emotion, with humanity. It was making it normal for people who didn't think it was normal. He changed people's minds, a story at a time. And personally for me, through Doctor Who and Captain Jack Harkness and many other characters in that series, he showed me myself. And that was Russell T. Davies. I started this series talking about people who protested, people who put their lives on their line and their livelihood and their minds and their bodies in the way of danger so that we could be free. And now we have the storytellers who are telling their stories, who are making history by bringing in the humanity, by showing people who don't necessarily like gay people that we are human too, and we have a right to our history, and we have a right to be human, and we have a right to love, and bringing that into people's living rooms and shining a light on it. So from the very beginning to the very end, these 12 people are fighting for LGBTQIA+ to be normal, to have rights, to be like everybody else. And I am so very grateful to all of them. And that's it. That was day 12. I have learnt a lot during this series, and I'm very grateful to all these people, and I'm very grateful that I got to make this series. I really hope that you have enjoyed this series. Thank you for sticking around if you did. Thank you for joining and coming to watch this if you are new. I cannot express the gratitude I feel for that. I will probably make another video about what's happened in the last week because it's been a bit much. I'm a bit overwhelmed, but just thank you very much. I hope that you had a good Christmas. I hope that you're having a good new year. And let's see what 2019 brings. May. Kinda wanna watch Doctor Who now.
Okay, bye.